China hits a death peak. Outbreaks spread fast. Death tolls soar. AI reveals a shock. Real population is only 500 million. Chaos strikes from railways to electric vehicles. Authorities block information, sparking widespread anger. China-Japan tensions rise. Ayumi Hamasaki performs alone in an empty arena after power cuts. Beijing's farce backfires globally. As the economy crashes and prosperity fades, citizens struggle. Who will breach Xi's power structure from the shadows? An explosive black dossier at a Politburo meeting signals power transfer. We bring timely analysis on today's crisis. China hits a death peak. Outbreaks spread rapidly. AI reveals a shocking truth. China's true population may be just 500 million. A severe flu outbreak is surging across the mainland faster than previous years. Pediatric infections are spiking, overloading hospitals and forcing widespread school suspensions. The CDC admits the positive rate for flu-like symptoms nears 45%. This excludes those self-medicating at home, suggesting the actual infection rate is significantly higher. On social media, suspicion grows that this isn't just AH3N2. Users compare it to the early 2023 COVID surge, citing sudden deaths among youth and white lung cases. They warn, changing the name won't fool anyone. We recognize it. After forced vaccinations during lockdown, hospitals now fill with severe post-vaccine complications. Sudden deaths are trending younger. Meanwhile, a viral video on Western social media reveals a stunning AI calculation. A Chinese-American analyst used AI to conclude China's population isn't 1.4 billion, but likely 500 to 600 million. Previously, Elon Musk's Grok 3 estimated up to 200 million people vanished during the pandemic years. Netizen videos reveal ghost cities, proving the pandemic never left. Most provinces report high flu levels, with the 5 to 14 age group hitting peak positivity rates. New variants continue attacking the population. School cluster infections are rising. The Global Times confirms Beijing's flu wave has peaked with the AH3N2 strain. Beijing Children's Hospital reports patient volume has surged sharply since November. Hospitals now run 24/7. Infections are spreading from students to office workers and are expected to hit the elderly next. The healthcare system is stretching to its limit. Large-scale class suspensions hit Guangdong, Tianjin, and Zhejiang due to fever outbreaks. Severe white lung complications are now being reported among children in multiple regions. Tragically, a 3-year-old in Puyang died within 24 hours of fever. In Zhejiang, a 12-year-old developed white lung in one day. From Hong Kong to Inner Mongolia, parents report sudden deaths caused by fever-induced convulsions. Chaos strikes railways, maritime transport, and EVs. Authorities suppress news, fueling public anger. While global eyes watch Hong Kong's fire, strange and tragic incidents unfold across the mainland. On November 27th, trains crashed into workers in 2 separate accidents. In Kunming, a test train struck laborers who entered the tracks early without a dispatch order. Traveling at 114 kilometers per hour, the train killed 11 workers. Experts cite 3 fatal errors: no communicated dispatch order, early track entry, and 0 supervision on a blind curve with poor visibility. Despite a 287-meter brake mark, workers had seconds to react. Weibo exploded with rage. How could a world-leading system allow such basic errors? Yesterday Hong Kong, today Kunming. Simultaneously, a train on the Baoji-Chengdu line killed 2 maintenance workers. Authorities quickly restricted information, stating only that the victims were temporary laborers under investigation. Rail accidents persist. In Sichuan, a bridge collapsed on a truck. In Hunan, a train killed a 60-year-old man, the 19th death on a track locals call the death curve. Tracks cut through residential zones with blind curves. Villagers beg to relocate, but authorities refuse land changes. Beyond railways, the maritime sector faces similar negligence. 2 Liaoning fishing vessels capsized near Korea, leaving 12 missing. Investigations revealed officials tried to cover it up, instructing owners not to report the disaster. Captains used forged documents and unlicensed crews. Over 160 officials were investigated. Meanwhile, China's high-tech EV industry is hit by a string of deadly crashes. A Xiaomi SU7 hit a guardrail in Jiangxi. The driver died instantly. Police allegedly pressured witnesses to delete video. Another user claimed the highway assist failed to brake, causing a collision. Xiaomi admitted a blind spot, but denied malfunction. In Chengdu, a Xiaomi car hit a green belt and ignited. Occupants were trapped inside locked doors. Bystanders used a chainsaw to open the doors, but the driver burned to death. In Anhui, 3 students died in a locked, burning SU7. In Shandong, remote-controlled Huawei cars crashed repeatedly in a garage. Viral clips show axles snapping and doors failing. Netizens argue these accidents across all transport sectors reflect deep corruption, negligence, and dangerously low safety standards. The public fears the government's silence more than the accidents. While the economy looks stable on the surface, the system is a sinking ship full of holes. Tensions surge. Ayumi Hamasaki sings in an empty arena. Beijing retaliates after Japan's prime minister stated a Taiwan contingency is a Japan contingency, triggering diplomatic and cultural backlash. Beijing's reaction extended to petty reprisals in major cities. In Shanghai, cultural events became political targets, drawing international shock and condemnation. At a Shanghai festival, Maki Otsuki's performance was abruptly cut. Lights and sound died instantly. The host tersely announced, "The performance ends here," leaving the audience stunned. Ayumi Hamasaki faced worse. With 10,000 tickets sold and setup complete, her show was canceled last minute. Instead of quitting, she performed the full concert alone for a recording. Images of her singing to vacant seats went viral. While some praised her professionalism, others blasted authorities for turning Shanghai into an uncivilized city and using artists as pawns. Many accused the government of ruining China's reputation. Other Japanese acts, including boy band JO1 and actor Yuki Furukawa, also suffered abrupt cancellations. Event organizers face massive unrecoverable losses on venues, flights, and promo. Experts say Beijing aims to pressure Japan's PM regarding Taiwan, but the strategy is backfiring. Analyst Akio Yaita notes these moves harm artists and erode China's image. Tourism also took a hit. Beijing's travel advisory sparked a wave of chaotic flight cancellations. Official claims of 500,000 canceled tickets drew skepticism. In reality, Japan remains calm. Chinese tourists continue visiting Shibuya and Ginza without issues. Japanese businesses remain stable. Ironically, Chinese airlines suffered the most, losing billions of yen from mass cancellations of Shanghai-Tokyo flights. Xinhua News claimed Japan paid the price, even threatening the PM's tenure. Netizens mocked the article, suggesting Beijing is looking for an exit strategy after facing backlash. Unlike 2012, Beijing is cautious, fearing mass protests could turn anti-CCP. Actions are limited to diplomatic outbursts and drills to signal strength without risking domestic stability. Beijing is pressure testing Japan's new leadership. If the PM stands firm, China typically backs down to avoid international scrutiny. China enters a major recession. As prosperity collapses, state media spreads fake stories about U.S. collapse to distract citizens from their own precarious lives. Propaganda claims America is filled with homeless people and exploding phones. These lies aim to soothe the public facing increasingly difficult struggles at home. Jobs are scarce. Migrant workers strike over unpaid wages. Many have worked a full year but have no money to return home for Lunar New Year. In Shenzhen, laborers sleep outdoors in the cold. Factories owe months of back pay, yet desperate workers accept 12-hour shifts with pay cuts just to have a job. Even university graduates face rejection. Tech and gaming sectors stopped hiring, forcing elite students into food delivery. Too many people compete for too few opportunities. Malls and cinemas are empty. Stores close months after opening. Vendors earn pennies. The economy is paralyzed, with reports of unpaid salaries surfacing everywhere. Managers vanish. Owners ignore calls. Employees fear resigning means losing owed wages. Helplessness grows as industrial zones go silent and cold winds blow. Cross-border sellers face rising taxes abroad, killing profits. Domestically, young people reject marriage. Women turn to delivery jobs, and consumers buy only the cheapest meals. Home sales plummeted. Singlehood trends accelerate. Many describe life as worse than pigs and dogs, realizing past prosperity was just an illusion. Foreign investment flees. Real estate defaults trigger chain reactions. Factories close. Unemployment pushes people to the brink, yet authorities offer no real solutions. The crisis may just be starting. Amidst this, a political storm brews. Who will breach Xi's power structure? An explosive dossier signals a transfer. On November 28th, a tense Politburo meeting reviewed inspection reports. The usual slogan, "to establishes," was omitted, signaling a potential power shift. Key figures Li Xi and Ma Xingri were notably absent. Xi emphasized purifying the political ecosystem, hinting at a purge targeting factional alignments within his own network. Analysts call the report a register of life and death. An anti-Xi coalition is quietly replacing his loyalists with technocrats across provinces like Shanxi and Guangxi. Technocrats are rising. The absence of Ma Xingri and Li Xi draws scrutiny, potentially linking them to the Vanke real estate crisis and financial losses. Ma Xingri might be the breakthrough point to dismantle Xi's apparatus. Ma's wife is close to Peng Liyuan, making him a direct target to weaken the First Lady. If Xi cannot protect Ma, his inner circle is vulnerable. Other loyalists like Kai Chi may face pressure next. Xi might remain only as a symbolic figure. Your feedback matters. Share your views. If this resonated, share it with your network. Support independent journalism. Subscribe to China Unhinged. Thank you.